Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let me know what you think of the new intro outro down in the comments below. Today what we're going to do is remake my Sue Storm Invisible Woman pop. The original was just a little too delicate and the hand outstretched never really formed fully. I went ahead and made a second version of this pop without making a video. And while it fixed the sturdiness of issue with the original, it did not fix the hand issue I had. I could never get those fingertips to cast right. You can kind of see that in all these videos, or excuse me, pictures I'm showing here now. So we're going to go ahead and change the body of this pop, make a new mold, and go ahead and cast one of those. We'll take the She-Hulk body. It's just the standard She-Hulk body, nothing, not one of the exclusives. Her costume looks pretty spot on to Sue Storm's in the comics. Like the little neck piece, the belt. It's pretty simple, which is exactly what you're looking for when it comes to customs. The less work you have to do to the pop, the more likely it is to look like an official Funko. So we will go ahead and take a priority mailbox. I just used a recycled one I got from a package. And then you're going to cut that up and glue it together to form a box around the pop. Now I try to make sure I have like a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of space on all sides, top, front, back, sides, etc. just so that the mold will hold up over time. It's a fine line between using too much silicone to have a giant robust mold that will hold up versus wasting too much silicone, because this stuff is pretty expensive on a per ounce basis. So you don't want to make it too big, but you want to make sure that it's going to completely surround the figure. So after you make your box, you're going to go ahead and glue your figure into it with the hot glue. This case it's neck side down because that's where I want to pour the casting resin from. Just keep that in mind when making your mold, that wherever you glue is where you pour your casting resin. We're going to go ahead and use a Part A, Part B silicone mold making kit here by Smooth On. This is the Umu 30 it's called. It's just a simple Part A to Part B mixture. We'll get it out of the box and measure it out. I just use a couple clear plastic cups and pour Part A in one, Part B in the other, make sure they match, and then just mix them together as thoroughly as you possibly can. One of the ways I do this is by using a third cup, by scraping as much as you can from each the pink and the blue to mix into the third cup. It just makes sure that you get all the product out of the cups, or at least if you are going to leave some behind, it's roughly the same amount in each cup. So you get that nice uniform purple color here. And then before pouring your silicone mix into your mold, make sure to spray the figure with a silicone mold release. You just want to make sure you can pull out the figure smoothly after the silicone is cured. It takes about 6 to 8 hours. When that happens, we'll just go ahead and cut the figure out and we'll be ready to cast one of these. Now this is all cured. We just rip that cardboard box away, and as you see, that little neck joint is going to be our pour point. We'll cut the figure out and we'll be ready to pour our casting resin. It's another Part A, Part B, equal part clear casting resin we're going to use. You've seen this in other videos I've made before. Here she is after you take her out of the mold. Just be sure to be patient when using this translucent casting resin. It is a pretty slow curing resin, so you want to make sure to give it at least 24 hours before you try and attempt to take it out of the mold. You could either disfigure it or end up leaving fingerprints in the sticky resin. It just does not make for a good final product if you try and rush this step. That's the biggest thing in making molds and casting anything, is patience. As you see here, these are the 3 forms of the Invisible Woman I've made so far. The first one was just too thin. It would have a tendency to kind of bend over time, and the hand never really cast right. The second one, while more sturdy, again, I couldn't get that hand to cast perfectly every time. The third one, I wanted to address both those issues, so as you see here in the finished product, much more sturdy, and the hands are going to be fully cast every single time. I also went ahead and painted the She-Hulk donor pop to match the original costume for the Invisible Woman. I just wanted to match that Mr. Fantastic I did. Thanks for watching the video though. If you liked what you saw, please hit the button. Subscribe if you want to see more from me. Keep on creating, everybody.